This is Uncle Jackomo, and this is really, really cute and also very talented 16 one-hand, 7-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Uncle Vinny. And this horse comes from a trainer that I've had quite a few horses from over the years. And he actually ran, this is a 7-year-old, and he actually ran 57 times, which is very impressive. He only made 76K, which is really nothing, especially over 57 starts. So I wouldn't say he was a very good racehorse, but I mean, he certainly did run a bunch of times, and he's extremely sound, extremely clean. He's actually a great mover. So I think it's just a huge testament to his soundness and durability. He's definitely one of those made of steel types of horses. So Jack last ran in July, and he's actually been ponying on the track since then. So he spent the last couple months still on the track, but doing a little bit of a different job. And I'm told he was very good at that job, but they just needed the stall for a racehorse, not a pony horse. So here he is. And this is my second or third ride on Jack. I just want to. This is a really nice horse. He's really athletic. He's beautiful. I really like everything about him. I just want to get his riding smoothed out a little bit. I think that his outrider on the track had a larger bit in his mouth, and I just think I need to work through a little bit of. I just want to smooth it out. I want to get him a little bit happier looking in the contact, and I just think he's worth the time to take it slow and get it where I want it. So I'm making this video. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube, but I'm probably not gonna post it around much because I know I can get this a lot better in the next week or two. And even if it takes longer than that, I don't care. I think this horse is really lovely and he's well worth it. So in this ride, I'm riding him in the Hermspringer Duo, and I'm going to try something else next time. I'll probably try some sort of loose ring for his next ride out, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get maybe one more video of him at the end of the week before we leave for RRP next week, because then he'll get a week off, so will everybody really. So there's really, I mean, Jack has not a mean bone in his body. Very, very kind, sweet horse. I just really kind of think that his mouth's been fussed with a little bit, and so he needs to relearn some of the contact. And I would like to get him to, and in doing that, he will relax over his top line. Like the horse really wants to be round, and he's made to make a great shape. But I just feel a bunch of tension in his top line, obviously, as you can see there. So I just want to get him more relaxed, happier looking in his mouth. I want to get him to make his neck longer, to stretch out his neck at the base of his neck at his withers, and we will get there. It's just going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of switching around with bits to figure out what he likes the best, and just some good old fashioned ride time in the saddle to get him used to the things that I'm asking him to do versus what he did in the past. But I have no doubt that he'll get there. He definitely wants to answer the questions, and he's very engaged in the conversation with me, and I just think he's going to be lovely when he gets it all. But I just wanted to put something out there to kind of show, like, yep, he's here. I've had a lot of people asking me for video of him or when I'll have video of him, so I just wanted to put something out there to sort of just show where he's at right now, what we're working on. And so here he is. He actually does give me some nice moments. Like here, this is getting a little bit better. That's better right there in the frame. But they're fleeting, right? They only last for a couple of steps, and then you'll see he sort of brings up his pole a little bit, and there's that little bit of tension creeping in. But each ride, the steps get a little bit longer where I want them to be. I just think that this is well, I do think he's a beautiful moving horse. I also just think that aesthetically, I think he's really handsome. He has like that classic bay look about him. He's got some white on his legs. He's got that nice big star and big snip on his nose, and he really just he looks adorable. He's adorable to work with. I like him. So this is all, I guess I would say, rather, just boring, um, sort of routine, repetitive work here. I'm asking him for a couple of things all at the same time. The first thing is straightness through his shoulders. So he does a little bit of bulging out on down here at this far corner. He wants to lean on his right shoulder. When we're down at the other corner by the gate, he wants to lean on his left shoulder. So I'm doing a whole bunch of circling and things, and I don't think it's in this ride, but we have been working on, when I first get on him and we're warming up, we're working on moving off the leg, each direction, off the long side and onto the long side, and just trying to get him on board with me in the fact that I need to have control of both shoulders at all times, and that he just sort of needs to stay on my train tracks between my two legs. And so he's getting there. It's much improved, still a ways to go, but again, I just have no doubt that he will get it. And then the other thing is, as he gets straighter, the contact falls into place. And I think I said this before, but he's very much a horse that wants to be round. I want him to be round in a longer frame. Actually, there, that's better. That's more leaning towards where I want him to go. I want him to lower the whole frame of his neck, starting at the base of his neck. I would like for him then to figure out that he can actually poke his nose out a little bit as he's doing that. I want him to relax in his jawline, all these things. So all these conversations are happening between me and him at the same time. And I have to say, the horse is trying really hard. He definitely is not telling me to bugger off. He's really thinking and trying. And in these moments, when he gets it, I mean, he's just gorgeous. He makes a beautiful picture. Now, he also has a wonderful canter. The work in the canter is the same thing that he's working on in the trot. It's no different. Of course, sometimes in the canter it can be a little tougher because on a horse like him, where I'm really, I'm asking him to put a couple of things together pretty intensely. It's not like we're floating around here on the buckle. I'm actually really truly asking him to work. So of course I'm sitting. I'm not in half seat. He needs to learn the seat as an aid in the canter. So sometimes that's a little bit harder because, of course, they're just not used to that. But actually, he was getting it pretty well. And luckily, he has a fantastic canter. It's very balanced, it's very uphill, very compact. So all those things are working together with him. And I will say that I see him being a fantastic jumper because he's athletic, he's a good mover, he's got this great canter. And when he figures all these things out, it's all just going to be so easy for him. So I asked him to canter, I think, to the left first. He picked up the right lead. I might have asked him twice. I can't remember. At some point, I just decided to just cross the diagonal if I could and canter to the right first, which is what we did and what you're seeing. So we're just having the same conversation we were having in the trot about trying to get the shoulders straight between my legs, being able to move off of yield to leg pressure, and trying to find some deeper, more connected softness. So, it just sort of reminds me of like bobbing for apples. Sometimes he's really got it, and other times, he gets it really nicely for a couple of steps, and then he comes up for a couple of steps, and we have to recompose, and that's just how it goes. It's just totally normal stuff. I will say he has a great work ethic. He's also very mature in terms of there's no nonsense about like trying to run me back to the gate. There's no spooking in anything. He's very much got his mind on me and what I'm talking to him about. So in that respect, he has a mature brain. And then here, when we came out of the canter, I actually thought that it really helped the trot. I like this frame here. Of course, then I lose his left shoulder for a couple of steps. I think I'm going to go with the loose ring snaffle next time. I'm hoping that having a little bit more play in the bit will, well, we'll just see. I don't know until I try it. But I'm thinking the loose ring might work for him. I'm excited to try it. It's quite nice there. Okay, so now, well, we took a nice long walk break there. So now we're back to the left. And I asked him for the left lead and he picked up the right. So, like, at this point, it's obvious to me that he prefers the right lead at this point for whatever reason. They do, it's pretty common that they prefer one lead or another when they are first off the track. So this is nothing unusual to be sorting through. So I would like to try and find the left lead because I've just not experienced it yet. So I just would really like to see what I'm working with. So I am using the pole to get the change, which he was very, very good about. And then, honestly, it's no different than the right. It's all the same exact things we did in the trot. It's all the same exact things we worked on in the right canter. It's just that for whatever reason, at this moment in time, he is just not sure about, the aids of picking up the left canter. And so that is something that does need to be worked on at some point. Today is not that day that I'm going to be picking on that. So the pole and the change work just fine for me today. And in all honesty, you don't really need to pick at these things if you're just working on the basics, the straightness, the softness, staying between the legs, all those things. I tend to find that the leads, they just do end up sorting themselves out at the end of the day. So there he kind of wanted to break, and I insisted that we were not quite done yet. Those are some better steps there. Yeah, and that's better there. So this is a work in progress. It's improving. He's getting there. He's going to be well worth the time and energy.